You're listening to Strange by Nature, your guide to the strange, weird, unbelievable, and improbable wonders of the natural world.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being here today. I'm Kirk Mona, and joining me are Rachel Gimza and Victoria Thompson. We're all naturalists who together have scoured the world for weird and wonderful wonders, just to please your mammalian brain's desire for novelty. Isn't that nice? Let's do this.
Hello, everyone. We're all here this week. It's super exciting.
Hey!
That is correct. We're all here.
Yay! Welcome back, Kirk. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. It was a trying few weeks there, but I'm back, and
we're glad you're here.
We are.
Good to be here.
So recently, as you both know, I bought my first home, which is super exciting. And as you both probably know, as happens when you become a homeowner, it becomes the main topic of conversation at any particular, if you're sitting at a table with other people who happen to own homes, that's what you're talking about.
Yep.
That is
It's a common point of interest. Yeah.
Exactly. Which, let me tell you, is a wild transition, because
Sure.
I know that when I sit down and I talk with people, I'm mostly talking about all the projects and things that we're doing at the house, and like that is the topic of conversation. But it's not even been a month, and I'm just sitting here like, what did I talk about before this?
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
I know I did. Like, I know I talked about other things, but were they, I mean, they were probably weird animal fun facts that I had recently learned, to be real honest, but, you know, that's just what happens.
Right.
So, I was in one of these conversations recently. I got together with another couple friend of mine with my partner, and we got to talking about pests. So the house that I'm in is over 100 years old, just over, and we've definitely had some small pest issues, like a mouse coming in and doing all sorts of fun things. But we've not had anything bigger than a mouse, thankfully. Before we moved in, there was perchance a squirrel that was trying to make a nest in our attic, which we did not like. We did not like that.
No.
But we haven't had to deal with anything bigger than a mouse at this point. And honestly,
Sure.
I'm not really worried about mice all that much. One of my cats is actually an excellent mouser. He's a little bit of a sadist. I might tell one of those stories in a bonus at some point.
Okay.
My God, he's a great cat, but oh my gosh, his name is Merlin. Anyway, so the couple that we were talking with, they were also dealing with the couple we were talking with, they were dealing with pests in their house. They could hear this sound in their walls. And they were like, But it was bigger than a mouse, so they thought they were dealing with squirrels. Turns out,
Guessing
it was
not squirrels.
Not squirrels. It was not squirrels. It was rats.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Rats. Lots of rats.
So many rats.
Oh,
I won't get into the
that's so
whole
bad.
tale on this. It was an ongoing, like, because they didn't know it was rats for a while, and then once they figured out it was rats, they caught at least like 5.
Oh, the joy of living in the city.
Yeah. Anyway, so I won't get into the entire thing. The way that they told the story was pretty great, and apparently there was some trauma that happened, of course. And I rest assured, it has been resolved. They no longer have rats in their house. So we're really happy for them. But it got me to thinking about rats in general, as it does. And then it made me look closer at my list, actually. And I realized that I've had a rat on the list for a good while now. And this felt like as good a time as ever to actually cover that particular rat. So
what a wild, circuitous story to tell us you're talking about rats.
You're welcome. I thought it would be entertaining. So first things first, I'm actually talking about an entire family of critters, not just a particular rat species. I am talking about the family of critters known as the Echinidae family.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it again. I think it still counts. Echinidae.
Really, I'm probably only keeping track of full genus species here at this point.
Oh,
so
that's fair. Okay, so which, are not actually in the rat family, but they are rodents.
Okay.
So they're rats, but they're not rats.
Do they have a rat common name?
Yes, common name, and they are in the rodent family. They're in the rodent order. Okay, so they are generally within that bigger space.
Okay,
gotcha.
They resemble rats really strongly, actually. However, they are more closely related to guinea pigs and chinchillas.
Okay.
They are aptly named spiny rats.
Oh.
Okay, and for rodents, they're pretty cute.
Why does this sound familiar?
Oh, I'll tell you, Kirk.
Okay.
They're kind of cute depending on the species. And actually, we have talked a little bit about these rats before. But in relation to a fun fact that Kirk, you covered in episode 187.
Okay, that must be why it sounds familiar.
It is. It is because for reasons that they're still learning, some of the spiny rat species are actually losing their Y chromosome.
Yes.
That was such a crazy story.
Okay.
It really was. And I listened to it, and you talked a little bit about spiny rats, but you're mostly focused on the Y chromosome.
Yeah. That's true.
So I want to talk about spiny rats themselves because they're pretty fun. I'm not going to touch base on one of the wild facts about spiny rats because Kirk already covered it.
Yeah, go back and listen to that one. That was really fun.
Yeah, it was platypus and spiny rats, so it's happening in multiple spaces. So wild. Okay, so most of the spiny rats live in South America, Central America, and the West Indies. So they're a pretty neotropical rat. They like it nice. They like it warm. Yeah. They like it humid. And what a family they are, honestly. They are the most species-rich family of their suborder. They have 78 species of
not bad
of rodents in 20 different genera.
Wow. Right, yeah.
And not only are there 78 species already widespread, but they also are pretty widespread in what niches they cover. There are some species of spiny rat that are fully arboreal, and they never come down from the trees.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
There are some spiny rats that are fully terrestrial and will rarely climb and just do shallow burrows. Other spiny rats, actually live underground, very similar to moles and prairie dogs and such. Wow, and then you think I'm done? No.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Some of them are semi-aquatic.
I was wondering if you were going to the water next. Yeah.
Right? There wasn't much else for me to cover.
Right.
But some of them are semi-aquatic. Some of them
can fly. I mean, some of them can.
I mean, I don't know.
Some of them have superpowers.
That would be wild. Well, we'll get into that. So the semi-aquatic ones are more likely to be in the, you might have heard of the species, the Hutia, Hutia. They are pretty common, and they tend to live kind of semi-aquatic. So they are in the spiny rat family.
Gotcha.
Okay. As you would guess from the name, they look like a rat. So they're a small quadruped rodent with 4 toes in the front, 5 in the back. They have a long pointed nose shape most of the time. Sometimes they don't. They have round ears. They're medium-sized with round, medium-sized eyes, forward-ish facing. They've got whiskers, and generally they have a naked tail. As their name suggests, they also have stiff pointed hairs on their back and rump.
Yeah.
which scientists think is to help protect them from predators.
Sure, makes sense.
As you would think, also with 78 species, the look and the feel of those hairs kind of depends. Depending on the species, some of the stiff, spiny looking hairs are true spines, are really, really stiff. Some are just super stiff guard hairs, and others in this suborder don't have spiny hair. Genetics is wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it really depends. They're all still spiny rats, however, even if they don't necessarily have spiny backs, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're spiny even if they're not spiny.
They're spiny even if they're not.
Spiny by name, if not spiny by nature.
Exactly. Oh, Victoria coming in clutch.
Oh, God.
So, Victoria, you talked about some of their potential superpowers, and something that we've talked about on the show here and there. They actually have the ability to break off their tail.
Which like a lizard.
Like a lizard, exactly.
And will it grow back?
It will not grow back. So this speed is
one and done.
Wild. Right? If they grew back, oh my gosh. No, it's
They'd
one and done.
Being studied a whole lot more if that grew back.
And like overall, like there are a few species of spiny rat that are much more well known than others. In general, a lot of them are pretty secretive. Most of them are solitary. However, there is one species that is a colony of spiny rats, which I don't know. That sounds horrifying to me as someone who has dealt with rodents before. I think not.
No to the colony idea, yeah.
No, thank you. But so there's not a lot of known about them, but they all are able to break off their tail to escape predators, which I mean, if I was trying to eat something and its tail like broke off and it was a naked rat tail that was wiggling around on its own, I would let the rat go. I would be freaked out.
Well, I mean, sometimes, that could freak animals out, but sometimes I think isn't the thought that if they get a treat, they get a reward and they're like, oh, good enough,
All right, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get a rat tail, but I'm also not something that would eat a spiny rat in the first place. So.
Yeah, no thanks.
Well spotted.
Yes. So, as you can imagine, studying rats isn't necessarily something that brings in the big bucks, but there's a lot to learn here, especially for critters that just truly span such a wide space. They're pretty cool, and I wanted to talk about them a little bit more. My sources this week are Wikipedia, Animal Diversity Web, New Scientist, and something that's called EOL, which is actually hosted by the Smithsonian Natural History Museum. And then the Global Biodiversity Information Facility also had some good information about spiny rats.
Is EOL the Encyclopedia of Life?
Yes. I kept trying to find what... I went to I went to all sorts of things to try to figure out what EOL stood for, and Who Are We does not say Encyclopedia of Life.
That's an oversight.
That's the website. So wild.
Thanks.
Anyway, that's what I got for you all this
Rats
week.
That can drop their tail and have defensive spines. That's cool.
It's really cool. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, it'll be Victoria.
All right, we are back. Kirk and Rachel, I sent you an email which said do not open, but you can open it now.
I did see that. Oh, God. I don't
Animal, vegetable, or mineral?
Great Merlin's beard. This is a vegetable.
Excuse you, Kirk. My cat Merlin does not have a beard.
All right. Great Odin's raven. What is this?
Okay, I'm opening.
This is a plant.
This looks like a plant, and I'm gonna bet. Oh my gosh!
So we'll describe this for you guys. It has a bit of a.
It looks like maybe like my brain immediately went to like fern frond, like the when they're all coiled together.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it has a bunch of like scales on the outside of it.
But it has it's given like asparagus vibes.
It is giving asparagus vibes.
Yeah, but like picture like a big wave crashing, huge curling.
It's like
you took like a big handful of asparagus and they were super bendy and you were able to like bend them into a wave shape.
But they were all fused together. Yeah, take a whole bunch of asparagus that's all fused into one and then curl it up like a frond of a fern coming out.
Good description.
I will say in the background, we can see some other stuff too, kind of a little bit out of focus. There appear to be flowers or fruit of some kind. As well.
So I'm gonna stick
kind of purpley whitish.
You asked animal, mineral, plant. I think I'm gonna stick with plant.
Yes.
I think that's
pretty firmly.
Pretty safe.
It's green. Well, you're right. It is a plant, and actually, it is in fact asparagus.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
It is asparagus.
I'm glad it looks like asparagus. Why are they doing that?
Why? Yeah. Why? What's happening here?
It is asparagus that has undergone a process called fasciation.
What?
Fasciation.
I am fascinated to know what that is.
Fasciation.
Fasciation. Fasciation. Okay. So this is something that happens to some plants sometimes. So plants have one or more growing tips, like at the tip of their stem or the tip of their root, which are literally the part that elongates as the plant grows.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like stem cells in that they can become the leaves or the stem or the flower, like as they grow, as appropriate. And these growing tips are round or cylindrical in nature.
Okay.
But when a plant becomes fasciated, they become elongated instead of round. So instead of a pencil point, you have like a paintbrush, a wide paintbrush. Okay?
Okay.
And then it grows and it results in really weird looking plants. So
when we said this looks like multiple stems of asparagus fused together, it literally is multiple stems of asparagus fused together, essentially.
Yes.
But it came from one plant.
Yes.
Oh man.
So it's growing multiple stems all at once rather than a single stem.
It's just growing a very long, wide stem.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
and again, I know you guys can't see this. Check your email because I know you're all signed up for the newsletter by now, right?
Right. Better be.
So you're all seeing this right now with us. This is wild.
The fact that it looks like it's all one stem, sure, but the fact that it looks like you could still see the individual, like what it would be if it was more than one. Yeah, you can still see the singular sections.
It's really fascinating process. So it can result in kind of different outcomes depending on the plant, maybe depending on what happens. But sometimes it looks belt-like, sort of like this asparagus. There can be crests, things that are kind of convoluted like brains. There's another picture if you scroll a little further down in the email of a daisy. There's a normal daisy and then there's a fasciated daisy.
Okay.
I do not have that.
Oh, maybe I forgot to put
Okay. I saw it online.
Okay.
So I know what you're looking at.
Maybe it didn't make it into the email. Yeah.
I can look it up.
Yeah. Well, I can describe it.
It looks really weird. Like,
it's just like
daisy itself, like the middle section is just a long.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks almost like a mouth with like yellow lipstick with white around it. It's disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be kind of disturbing. Sometimes it's very beautiful. It's not too common, but it has been found in hundreds of plant species. And if it does happen, it often happens to just one part of the plant. Like if it happened to a tree, it could just be one branch of the tree.
I think I've probably seen flowers.
I think I've seen flowers
that I
like
didn't really know what was going on. Yeah.
I feel like I've seen daisies like this.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
Or like dandelions like this.
Yeah, it can definitely happen to dandelions.
Mm-hmm. Or, yeah, I think I've seen daisies or dandelions like this.
Well, actually, and sometimes you get a package of strawberries and there's one of those big, like, fan-shaped ones.
Yeah,
That is a fasciated strawberry.
There you go. Definitely seeing that.
Yeah, those are like the best ones.
Yeah, right? They're enormous.
So good.
Okay, so what causes this?
Yeah, what's going on?
Not that well understood, not super well studied, but the answer seems to be a lot of different things can do it.
Okay, fair enough.
So in some cases, there can be an infection that will set off this mutant growth pattern, bacterial, viral, fungal, but they've also, tested some fasciated plants and found no evidence of infection. Any kind of mechanical damage can actually trigger it, whether that's from insects, from even like digging in your garden damage, or chemical damage can also cause it. Or frost, damage from frost or cold. Any kind of thing that maybe disrupts that growing tip potentially can cause the fasciation. It can also appear out of apparently nowhere with no known trigger.
Known trigger, yeah.
In some plants, it is controlled by a single recessive gene.
Ooh.
Although it does seem that environmental conditions do control sometimes whether or not the gene is expressed, even if the plant did get, the 2 copies of the recessive gene. Okay. And there's actually a flower called celosia and a variety called coxcomb celosia, which is a genetically fasciated flower that's specifically cultivated for its blossoms, which look like a rooster's comb. They're kind of crinkly and wavy like that.
That's fun.
And I bet if you Google a picture of that, you'll probably have seen that flower before.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of velvety looking and cool.
Very cool.
That's wild.
Yeah, and unless the fasciation is genetic, it doesn't usually recur the following year in perennial plants. It's just kind of a thing that happens, and it looks so weird.
It does.
And then it goes away.
It goes away?
Well, no, the next year. Like if it's a perennial plant, it won't necessarily be fasciated the next year.
The next year it won't, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I have. Kind of short and sweet topic. I just thought it was. I found out about this, I think, randomly on like Reddit or something. And I was like, whoa, I gotta talk about
really
this.
Weird.
Yeah, this is straight up our alley for the podcast.
Yes.
Weird looking. And this photo you found of the asparagus is one of the stranger things I've seen. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy. My sources this week were University of Wisconsin. Madison has a horticulture extension that had a page about this. Colorado State University Extension also had a helpful page in Wikipedia. And then the picture of the asparagus was from a Reddit user who had it growing in their garden.
Super cool.
Honestly, I'd ask Reddit too.
Yeah.
If that was growing in my garden.
Right?
Like, what?
Or share it, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thanks,
right.
Victoria.
You're welcome. We're going to take a short break and then it'll be Kirk.
Hey everyone, welcome back. As a professional naturalist, one of the things that I do is I teach a lot. And at the place I work,
Wild.
Some people may not know that, about us. And I recently wrapped up the school year, which was a big deal. Ended the year on a high note, by the way. My last group of the school year was absolutely
they were so good.
Delightful group of first graders.
That's nice.
So yeah, I was worried it was going to end on a low note.
Mm-hmm. They were lovely.
Based on some history with this particular school. But they were awesome. They were so good.
Mm-hmm.
And we were learning about plants. And I think we often take plants for granted, like as humans. Mm-hmm. And in the limited time that teachers have in the classroom at school, I think the learning can often sometimes be a little dry, just kind of by its very nature. It often focuses on the basics of like, these are the roots, these are the stems, these are called leaves, these are the flowers, these are fruits. There's a lot of naming the parts. And then sometimes that's all students ever get. It's sort of like, these are the parts, maybe briefly touching on what they do function wise, but some kids don't even get that. And so people kind of move on. And so, often we talk about in our particular field is that the name of something is arguably the least important thing about it. It's just the name some dead person gave that thing. Like, it doesn't tell you anything about what it does. The function of these things is what's really important. And it's clear from talking to a lot of kids, they aren't really learning the function of these things. And even if they do learn that, like, the basic function, like roots pull water up into a plant. Well, okay.
And store food and help with stabilization.
Sure. But like for the water thing, it's like, why? Like, why do they pull water up? And I'll ask kids, like, do plants need water? Yeah, everyone says yes, of course plants need water. And you say, why do plants need water?
It's
even a lot of adults
component in photosynthesis.
And there's the answer, right? But a lot of like adults, don't learn that. A lot of kids don't learn that part. It kind of stops at like, these are roots, they pull water out of the ground. And so I think school teachers often don't have the time, frankly, to really go into the answers to some of these questions about a lot of subjects. And sometimes that's because of a time limitation. Sometimes it's because the curriculum doesn't call for it. And frankly, we ask our teachers to be experts on such a wide variety of subjects that they never studied themselves. And a lot of the teachers simply don't know why plants need water either. Sometimes I'll be telling stuff to my kids and I look at the teachers and they're going,
what?
You can see the look in their face. They're going, oh my God, I'm 40 and I've taught about plants
dropped
for 20 years and I just realized why. Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch.
It's always great.
I love to get at those why answers by telling stories. And I like to tell a story with kids about how a big part of what plants are doing is tricking animals. And I'll sometimes have them raise their hands. Say, everyone raise your hand if you have been tricked by a plant. And virtually no one raises their hand.
I have absolutely been tricked by a plant. I would raise my hand.
I love asking this question. Yeah. And I ask the same question at the end of the program and everyone raises their hand.
Yep.
Plants are master manipulators. And I have a story for you this week about yet another way that plants have evolved to become even more of a master manipulator than we had previously realized. So
what?
First,
color me intrigued.
Let me back up just a little bit and explain what I mean when I say a plant is a master manipulator, because I know the two of you know what I'm talking about. And it kind of goes back to those roots I mentioned earlier. Roots are great. They get water from the ground. And since many plants have stems that are trying to compete and get taller and taller and closer to the sun to outcompete their neighbors, like for sunlight, well, plants can get pretty tippy, right? So roots hold a plant firmly in place, which is fantastic until it isn't. Because being stuck in one spot really sucks for plants. If conditions change, they can't move. And if a new neighbor starts to grow too tall and shade them out, if they can't grow any taller, they're just out of luck.
They're just stuck.
And if a water source dries up, too bad, you're dead, right? I mean, you can try to grow your roots a little deeper, but if there's still no water, there's no water. So being stuck in one spot is like a huge challenge for plants. So plants have turned to animals to do a lot of clever work for them. Need to get your pollen to another plant far away? Have an animal do it for you. Need to make
Why not?
Yeah, you just need to make like a visually attractive, showy flower to get their attention. Fill it with a sugary treat, and voila. You trick an animal into getting covered in pollen and taking it to the next flower in response to, getting a food reward.
Get got, hummingbirds.
Why pollinate a flower, though? Why do those flowers need to be pollinated? Well, pollinated flowers turn into bright colored fruit full of sweet sugars that animals will gladly eat and then defecate a mile away. And you just trick the animal into moving your seeds, right? Further than you ever could alone. And we talked about this on the show before. Plants and animals have coexisted on Earth for upwards of 500 million years. So plants have had plenty of time to figure out how to manipulate animals into doing their bidding. Often in return for sugar, but not always.
Because plants have been around even longer than that.
Yes,
right?
They have. Yeah. Yep. So Sometimes plants just make a sticky seed, like burrs. They get caught in animal fur. The animal's not getting anything in return for that. Or they get into our clothes, our pants. Yeah. Yeah. We blunder on by and we carry those seeds to new location, and we get no reward for that. And scientists recently discovered yet another way plants have figured out how to trick animals, and it's with smell. Okay, now, no doubt there are lots of amazing smells that come from plants, and nearly all of them are to trick animals into doing or not doing something, as in, yes, eat this, it will help me, or no, don't eat this, it will harm both of us, right?
Okay.
So, like, a good smelling plant is going to attract animals to come eat the fruit. A bad smelling plant might make animals like, I don't want to eat that, and it becomes a defense mechanism. So flowers smell great to attract insects like bees. Or flowers can also smell like rotting flesh.
Yes.
To attract flies. So it's not all the smells are good to us, but not everything is for us, you guys. So in our quest to understand how plants lure insects to them to help with pollination, a new trick was recently discovered. Mochizuki was working in a greenhouse one day when he noticed something strange. There were many plants in this greenhouse, but flies were swarming around one particular plant. And based on what we know about how plants attract pollinators, you might assume there were bright flowers full of nectar, but these particular plants didn't seem to have any of the typical things you would see that might attract insects. The plant is called Vinstoxicum nakaanium. It's actually a type of dogbane. There's dogbanes all over the world. This was in Japan, so you probably have some dogbanes growing near you. The researcher had actually collected it incidentally as part of a different study where they needed to have lots of plants around. But as he was moving through the greenhouse, he's like, that's interesting. And that phrase, that's interesting, is often where some of the best science starts, right? You notice something. Yeah. Now, he knew that some plants, like, say, corpse flowers, which, by the way, there's a corpse flower going to bloom very soon, right?
Oh,
I know.
In St. Paul.
I saw that. Yeah.
Nice.
One of the conservatories near us has a corpse flower about to bloom.
I'm going to say this again. Sorry. I saw this recently as well. It's going to bloom for again after 2 years, which is really, really soon.
Pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really quick.
Very
for
impressive.
Corpse flower. Anyway, sorry.
Maybe we'll go see it. We'll see. So, that was on corpse flowers were on his mind, and he knew that those could attract flies with the smell of death. So he was intrigued if something similar was happening here. Dogbane does have flowers. They just aren't particularly showy. So Mochizuki studied the smell given off by the plants, and he compared it to other smells. And he kind of thought he was on the right track, and later testing was able to confirm what his nose was telling him. Turns out there's 5 key components that these plants give off. Here we go. You ready?
Oh, boy.
There's nonane, undecane, octyl acetate, and decyl acetate, and methyl 6-methyl salicylate. I hope
those
I said all this right.
roll off the tongue real quick.
Yeah, they really do. Now, those may not be household names to you, but they just so happen to be the smells that are given off specifically when spiders attack ants.
Oh. What?
Which is
what?
Real weird. Oh, yeah.
That's very specific.
It sure
is. Very
is.
Specific.
So, okay, cool. But flies were attracted to this smell. And so he's like, why would flies be attracted to the smell of spiders attacking ants? And he looked at all the available research, did like a publication search, and there was nothing about these ants these flies being attracted to the smell or being attracted to ants or anything like that. However, he didn't stop there. He also looked online to citizen scientists who had reported just seeing, some of these different things the species of fly and ants online. And he noted that amateur citizen scientists indeed have recorded this type of fly stealing ant prey from spiders. And this had not been officially documented before, but it seems that these the flies are kleptoparasites, meaning they steal food from other predators. And so it's very cool that we now know that this group of flies that he was seeing are actually kleptoparasites because of citizen scientists who reported it, and they were able to then do some more research and confirm this.
And this dog bane is taking advantage of that behavior.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So here's what's going on here.
That's so specific.
We now know of a plant whose flower gives off the very specific smell of ants being attacked by spiders, specifically so they can attract the flies that are looking for the injured or dead ants. They don't find the ants, but they do accidentally end up crawling all over the flowers and pollinating them.
Right.
So once again, plants prove they are absolutely astoundingly good at finding ways to trick animals into doing their dirty work for them.
Oh my
goodness.
Wow.
The source of this was the journal article, which is just very factual. Olfactory floral mimicry of injured ants mediates the attraction of kleptoparasitic fly pollinators in the October 20th, 2025 issue of Current Biology. So,
phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
That's so wild. I'm sorry.
That is so cool.
It took several turns that I wasn't ready for.
I know. I heard the story and I'm like, oh, I've got to share this. Like, plants mimicking the smell of essentially dying ants in order to attract a very specific pollinator. Mwah, chef's kiss. Love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, look, that's all of our stories for this week. Thank you so much for coming and listening with us. I'm glad to be back.
Yes.
And we'll have more fun stuff for you next week.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone for listening to today's show. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes drop every Wednesday, and we love sharing this strange world with all our listeners. If you would be so kind as to leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts, that would be great. It lets other lovers of the strange discover the show. You can reach us by searching for Strange by Nature Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. You can send us an email as well. Our address is contact@strangebynaturepodcast.com. If you want more information about the show, you can check out our website, strangebynaturepodcast.com, and you can support the show and get ad-free episodes at patreon.com/strangebynature. Until next week, get outside, stay curious, and embrace the strange.